Dirty intake valves choke the power right out of your car. This was before and this is after of what we just did. This catch can is going to ensure that this doesn't happen again for a very, very long time. Let me get into the details of what this is, how it works, and how to install it. If you don't know what a catch can is, the engine when it's running creates crankcase pressure, and that air needs to be vented. That goes to the PCV system. The PCV system routes air from the crankcase, which is the engine, creating air pressure with oil vapor in the air, and it's kind of gunky and dirty, and then it blows all the way around the PCV system back into the intake, and it recirculates all those vapors instead of sending them in the atmosphere for emission standards, etc. That's very common on newer cars to have a PCV system to vent crankcase pressure back into the engine instead of to the atmosphere, keeping dirty air out of the atmosphere and burning through your engine, and hypothetically keeping the clean air clean. So what this does is this catch can has two little ports in and out, and it sends that crankcase pressure through this. Now inside here, I'm going to show you up close, there's baffles here, and then this silver thing is a dipstick, just like for your oil. You can see how full the can is. And then fun fact, the bottom of the can has a port where you can hook up like a quick empty valve. So when you twist the valve like a garden hose, it just drains out. You can rig that up yourself if you want. I'm not anticipating a lot of oil in this can, so I won't have to empty it very often. Cross our fingers. Air goes in, the baffles separate the oil deposits and contaminants in the air from the air, sending cleaner air out of it, and then all of your junk in your air fills up the catch can, and then you empty this every now and then. How often? I'm not sure. I've never put one on one of my Volkswagens before, so I'm gonna find out. If I had to guess, it'd fill up, I don't even know, I hope once every 20,000 miles max. It might be even less. It might be even more miles. Comment down below, how often does your catch can fill up on your GTI? That would be helpful for all of us, including me. I'd love to know. Depends how much blow by, what condition are the rings on your pistons. It can go on and on and on. Highly recommend talking to your favorite AI about it to learn more about it. But this for sure sends cleaner air into the intake manifold and cleaner air blowing by your intake valves, lessening the need and spreading out the intervals of how often you need to clean those intake valves after we just did it. Is this necessary? No. Is it preventative maintenance and a nice little addition? Yeah. We're pushing more power, pushing this engine a little harder with the bigger turbo that we put on, and this is just going to be a good thing to add to lower my long-term maintenance. Links in the description to order this. That's the absolute best way to support myself, small team, and family. So from my family to yours, thank you so much. Let's get to installing this and having some fun together. I'll show you what it looks like up close on the bench, and then we'll get to it. This catch can has the option to add this hose. I'll leave it linked in the description. If you live in freezing temperatures, you're gonna put this on during freezing temperatures, and this goes from your turbo inlet to the PCV direct. So it bypasses the catch can on purpose, because what can happen is you can have a freeze over situation in your catch can and below freezing temperatures. That causes issues. So for those of you who live in freezing temperatures, make sure you order this. It'll be linked in the description. But for all of us like AZ, California, Texas, all those places, we don't got to worry about it. Step one, remove or loosen the grounds.
Always by hand. If you hit that with a gun, it'll rip that wire off. Okay, once those are off, that'll give us the ability to have a little play with our wiring harness as we take it off. So one at a time, we're gonna pop these coil connectors loose. Okay, we got that harness loose, so we'll have a little bit of room to play with here. Undo some of these solenoid connectors and just give ourselves just a little bit of room here. Gotta pop the lock up on a couple of these. Undo this cam sensor here, get this lock undone. And that'll give us some freedom as we're going. Pull this up. Careful not to shatter it like I did. Okay, that's two. We'll probably get that third one, and that'll give us enough room to get where we gotta get. Dear Lord have mercy.
They're all dry rotted.
It's just at this point.
It's not your fault.
We've had this harness off more than once, so they're just not gonna come off good. Nothing really you can do about that. We've got enough room now that we can work over here without having to tear anything up. That should be out of the way. We're gonna take off this turbo inlet and take off this piece of the PCV valve. All right, T30 there loose. T30 here loose. All right, this is now loose and can come off. We're gonna finagle that and work that as we get the turbo inlet off, but it does come out. See that oval connector?
I remember now.
There you go.
I remember now.
There you go. So now we've got this bolt loose. We're gonna take this bolt out. Don't lose it. Okay. And now this whole turbo inlet should rotate and come off. So we've got that loose now. Now here's our biggest problem. This is a pain to get off, and you need it out in your hand to be able to get it off. And the rest of this is hung underneath this coolant line. So we're gonna take that T30 off this coolant line here and take the T30 off of it here and try to get some flex. That should be enough there to be able to work this past the diverter valve. And then once that's past the diverter valve, you're just trying not to break anything as you fish this big corrugated piece out and over those solenoids. And pick that up, work it down and around. Now it's out in our hand. So now we've got to get this piece off. Probably just use some silicone lube from Blaster and let it soak. We're just gonna put a little. And so we're now gonna try to just pull it off.
Nice.
Displacement. All right, now that that's off, we have an adapter for the PCV system. Got a clip. I usually call them horseshoe clips because they're shaped like a horseshoe. And that clip's gonna ride in here like this. But first, we're gonna slide this on. We wanna get it on far enough that it's below that plastic neck so that when we put our horseshoe clip in, it holds it on there. And that fitting has like 3 O-rings on it, and that's gonna keep it from leaking. Crankcase ventilation. Okay. Now that that's on, you physically cannot pull this off. We can reinstall this and then set up our routing for our hoses. Probably before I reinstall this, I'd want to install this piece. This does have a loose O-ring on it, so we just want to watch that and make sure that doesn't, because if it's in there nice, that's great, but every time I turn it over, it falls out, and that is going to be downward facing, so you go on like that. What we want to do is go and scope out where this is going to sit. We know where this is going to sit. What that O-ring is going to do is it's going to seal this hole here. And it's going to have a screw for that, which is that T30 that I took out that's up here. That's going to go in here through the center of that plate. That is a lot. Hold on. Typically what you can do is take this one and rub the threads in that one, and it'll take some of that Loctite off. That way you don't waste a bunch of Loctite. It's supposed to only be a little. We've lubed that piece up. We're going to go ahead and stick that into the PCV block. That's going to fit in on its O-ring like that, and then we're going to bring the other piece over and put bolts in. I'm holding this O-ring in place so it doesn't dislodge, because it keeps falling anytime I try to move it, and you just got to get it lined up right. So we're going to take our T30 course that goes in this hole, and we're going to get it started. We're not going to tighten it all the way because we still need to align that back piece. Okay, we got that started so our O-ring won't fall out. Now we've got our back screws that need to get lined up in those holes. We're going to take those, drop those into place, start them by hand. We're going to use our Allen wrench. We're going to tighten those. We're going to snug them down. We're not going to make them completely tight until we get this T30 all the way. That's in. These now we're going to snug down all the way. All this stuff is little, so don't torque it too much or just strip it out. All right, that's all on. We're going to take this ignition coil out of the way so that we can put on that AN line that runs from here to the inlet. Now we have plenty of room to run that line over to here, so we can put our turbo inlet back on. We're going to put this in, get started, and then we're going to twist it this way, and it will lock into place. Got our T30 going back in on our inlet. Our inlet is back in. Now what we're going to do is install the catch can where it sits, and then we're going to mock up our hoses.
The bracket goes on the engine mount here on the side.
This bolt has a stud.
Pretty slick. They give you a nut and a bolt because the nut goes down there, the bolt on top. Very accessible location.
Catch can down below. Threads through the hole. This is not how you will pull it off when you have lines on it. All right, we're gonna leave it a little loose here so that we can orientate the lines as they come to us. Here are our lines.
You want to look at how they route on that top one?
Yeah, I just kind of want to lay them up here and see what we got going on. So this one's gonna go here. I just kind of want to start it. I'm gonna put all these harnesses back together, but it looks like that's gonna go on there. Nice and easy. And then these are gonna come down here and I'm gonna feed into this.
I wonder if they go under.
Well, that's a good question. Look at that. These are gonna line up here. And we're gonna use a big wrench and tighten these in a second. So your outer hose that's going into these threads now is the one going to your valve cover. I tighten all these by hand first because a lot of times if you don't have like non-marring wrenches, you will scuff these lines up and they'll be looking messed up. All right, that one's in so far. Now we're gonna put this one in. Try to hold it centered on that set of threads. These require a good amount of force. My hand is about to start cramping. I can feel it. And that's about as tight as I can get it by hand. And we're gonna tighten our can down so that everything is nice and tight on here. It's not gonna move. Now we're gonna go back over here and we have this one we can tighten and that one we can tighten. So I'm gonna start with the one in the back. Just make sure that goes on easy. Yep, that's on. We can tighten that with a wrench now. Now we can grab a wrench and tighten both of those. We're gonna go down to 25. I'll move this wire harness out of the way so you don't bang nothing up. That's tight. We're gonna go to this one over here. Careful not to break that diverter valve as you're tightening this.
What a great location.
It is great. It actually is great. It's a completely unused location. It's out of the way. Pretty smooth. Slide this coil harness back on.
Did you already put the injector, what are those things called?
Noise?
Yeah.
We're going to plug those in now. So let's go ahead and put these back on.
The kit comes with this holder. You're gonna set it there.
You almost got it perfect, spot on.
I held this hand over here.
Yeah, I usually like squat down and look at it because I can't never remember.
Here's the final look of the catch can. Setup goes all around. Heat shielding there. Engine cover goes on, looks pretty slick. This is a good setup. Yeah, they did a good job. Catch can's installed. If you're thinking about what does it entail with maintenance, you have great access right here. Dave can come up close and show this. Look, we have our dipstick here. You can check the level really quickly at any time, see where it's at, and then you know if you need to empty it or not. And then if you do need to empty it, you can just grab it, unscrew it, pull it out, dump it out, and put it back. There's a lot of catch can setups out there on most cars where it is not the simplest thing to do, so you don't need a drain valve on the bottom of this one. Maybe you put a glove on if it's warm, worst case scenario, and you're good to go. So if you're thinking about a catch can, this has got to be one of the lowest maintenance ones I've ever seen because the access is great. So this is a good product. We'll have it linked in the description. Install went pretty smooth. If you missed the last Mark 7 GTI video, I'm gonna leave it over here. And if you wanna check out a Mark 8 video, I'm gonna leave it here. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. Hit that subscribe button so you can see what's next for this car.